College Football Today is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Florida State at Notre Dame, 1993. Seminoles in the final seconds trying to win, but Charlie Ward's pass is batted down by the Irish cornerback Sean Wooden. Notre Dame wins 31-24. And for once, one of those games was as good as the promise. And now the follow-up as ABC Sports and the College Football Association present the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Seminoles of Florida State. Ah, those blessed rankings. You can easily see why this game means so much to Florida State. All kinds of things can still happen for them. Notre Dame, outside the rankings, must win to think about a meaningful game on New Year's Day. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. Welcome to the Florida Citrus Bowl, which is the location of the rematch game, if you will. It's a little more neutral than Doak Campbell Stadium at Tallahassee, but not a whole lot. The reach of Notre Dame sometimes can be astounding during a college football season, but they do get the adrenaline going wherever they go because they are season makers as well as season breakers. Just ask the Seminoles a year ago. This game was a sellout on June 26th. We'll have pregame analysis from Bob Greasy in just a moment. The city of Orlando, Florida, fairly brimming with football fervor as Notre Dame comes to town to play Florida State. Bob Greasy. Lou Holtz has had 3 weeks to get ready for this ball game.
Well, and he's 5-3, but you know this is a very dangerous ball club. Even though they are 5-3, they're unranked. They're a big underdog, but they know that a win here today against 6th-ranked Florida State will gain them a lot of respect.
Somebody said that truck pulled in behind the stadium Wednesday night was full of mirrors. Florida State's got more athletes probably than Notre Dame.
Well, that's very true. Bobby Bowden said that he's concerned about the inconsistency this year, especially on offense. But he also knows that last year he had better athletes, more speed, and he got beat, in the trenches. He got whooped. They were very physical. That's the key today in the lines. Who's going to be tougher in the lines? And we're told that Ray Zellers is going to be back to play some fullback. A big difference. Yep. Good blocker, good solid man. So we're about ready. The weather is terrific. It's in the high 70s right now. It should be very comfortable today. So the sun breaks out from behind the overcast right on schedule for the kickoff. Florida State's Dan Mowry will kick to Notre Dame's Emmett Mosley. They play on grass at the Florida Citrus Bowl, and we are ready to go. That's hooked sharply to the left side and kicked out of bounds. So not a good start for another bad moment for another Florida State place kicker. Wide left this time. Historically, they've been wide right as this young man comes running onto the field for the Fighting Irish. Ron Paulus, his numbers for 1994. 7 times he's been intercepted. The last time we saw him was at Boston College, and he took a pummeling. Randy Kinder and Mark Edwards open in the backfield for Notre Dame behind Paulus. And as usual, they've got Derek Mays wide to the bottom of your picture. So from the 35-yard line, Notre Dame's first play of the game. It is the back, Kinder. Swarming, diving tackle by number 44, Darrell Bush for Florida State. Randy Kinder and Mark Edwards open at the position, but we expect to see at fullback today Ray Zellers. Derek Mays remains always the big play man for Notre Dame. 6'1", 205 junior, Indianapolis. Oscar McBride and the other tight end seldom see the ball. Same play, same result. Number 90, Derek Alexander, the first man through defensively for Florida State. It is the offensive front for Notre Dame that won that war a year ago up at South Bend as they ran the ball. There have been a lot of people who have been moved around. In fact, nobody you see on the screen now was in the starting offensive front 3 games ago at Boston College.
At the same position.
At the same position.
Right.
He's moved people from here to there and yonder, trying to find the kind of chemistry, the combination that'll work. Hand it off as Paulus on a deep drop. Give it a Kinder is cut down by Derek Brooks, the All-American linebacker. And Notre Dame is short of the first down in their first possession.
There's a look at Brooks, the linebacker. First 3 plays for Holtz. 3 running plays. He's going to get, if the punt works the way it should work, Florida State's going to get the ball deep in their own position for Notre Dame's first defensive stand.
James Colsey is the deep man for Florida State. The punt by Brian Perry from the 13-yard line. Colsey across the 20 and out to about the 21. And so now it is Florida State's turn. They will put the ball in play as Danny Cannell comes to the field to lead the team with these numbers for 1994. It jumps at you that he has 14 touchdowns but 12 interceptions. In the backfield behind him, as the Seminoles come out rather slowly, you're going to have Warwick Dunn and Zach Crockett. And put the ball on the 22 for this first snap for the Florida State Seminoles. Kez McCorvey is the leading receiver for Florida State. In fact, the primary receiver so far. They don't have that core of receivers they have had in times past. Cannell back will throw on the first play. Dumps the ball off to Zach Crockett, the fullback. And Crockett is out across the 30 to the 31. He picked up 9 yards on the play. The offensive front for Florida State is anchored by their center, Clay Shiver. It's a good one for a quarter and a bad one for a half a quarter. The inconsistency has been a problem for the Seminoles, but they look pretty solid in their runaway win at Georgia Tech. Danny Cannell, the quarterback. He is from Fort Lauderdale. He's a junior. Big fella, 6'4". Had the ball to Warwick Dunn. And Dunn, who's quite a story, as the young man molds his life, runs in among the trees and gets the first down near the 34-yard line. Dunn, a sophomore from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The defensive front for Notre Dame, and it's going to be a good one to watch today as number 55, Oliver Gibson, hunkers down at nose guard and goes head up with Clay Shiver, the Seminole center. Linebackers are pretty good. Justin Coheen, he is the ringleader. Sean Wooden, incidentally, is the young man who knocked down Charlie Ward's pass in the closing seconds to win last year's game at South Bend. First down for the Seminoles, and Cannell out of the shotgun. He did not get it away. Notre Dame has the ball. Burt Berry got him. The ball came flying loose. The arm was not moving forward. It's a fumble.
Take a look from behind the quarterback from his right side. Burt Berry, number 60, wasn't even supposed to be in the starting lineup. Had an ankle sprain. The tight end fell down. That forced Cannell to hold the football longer than he wanted to, or that sack would have never happened.
And first opportunity, Notre Dame. The Irish put Lee Becton and Ray Zellers in the backfield for this possession. So the 2 injured Warriors are back for the moment. And Becton, who has had a groin and stomach muscle problem, picks up about 2 yards, maybe 3 on the carry, as the Seminoles gang tackle. Number 2, a cornerback, Abraham, flying up to the point of attack.
Let's go back and take a look at the previous play. Go ahead and run it. The tight end is on the far side. He's going to break to the outside, and then he's going to come back in. Berry beats the man, Laureano. That's his 6th sack of the year, and Florida State is now -6 in turnovers for the year. net turnovers.
Second down and 8. Paulus on a rollout, getting pressure, throws it away. He unloaded it because number 47, James Roberson, had him in his sights and was coming full bore. Roberson is a defensive end. He and Alexander are very good. Derek Brooks is an All-American already. He's already graduated. He's already won an $18,000 scholarship for academics from the National Football Foundation. The corners are very good. Clifton Abraham and Corey Fuller. Guys in the middle, Bush is experienced, and Hamlet is a sophomore. It is third down and 8 for the Irish from the Seminoles' 28-yard line. Paulus looking, throws, and it is incomplete, and he had a man wide open. He had Charles Stafford wide open down the middle of the field and got pressured out of it. Didn't have time to look for him, and the Irish have come to 4th and 8.
He got nervous feet, Keith. You're right. If he would have sat in there, but he didn't know that he'd had that much time.
Scott Sinja, number 12, will be out. He is a freshman and going for the field goal try. He is from Melbourne, which is not very far from where he's going to be trying this field goal. So the native son will have to endure a timeout while Notre Dame ponders the circumstances. All right, Florida Citrus Bowl. Sun breaking out, gorgeous day now. Located on the shores of Lake Lorna Doone. We are. As Scott Sinja, native son from Melbourne, Florida, will try a field goal from 45 yards. This will be his career long. And it is no good. Now let's go to John Saunders in our studios in New York.
Thanks a lot, Keith. We just want to take time to remind everyone that at 3:30 Eastern time, the second half of our doubleheader, regional coverage. Many of you will see Penn State and Illinois, Arizona USC, Alabama, Mississippi State, and Baylor and Rice. Some big implications in all of those games. Right now, Keith, back to you.
So Notre Dame is turned away, missing from 45 yards on the field goal. First down for Florida State. The ball is at the 28-yard line. And this is Warwick Dunn looking and searching for a little daylight and finds about 3 yards worth. Now let's spend a moment with Lynn Swan on the field.
Keith, the coaches will have as much impact as any one play on this football game today. And when I talked to Lou Holtz about what he told the kids before the game, he said the most important thing is for them to go out and play with confidence and maturity. We need a little luck, but we can play in this game. And Bobby Bowden said, our guys just have to go out there and have fun, because we're not playing for a national championship, really. This is not a bowl game, although it seems like it. So we just got to go out and play fun, have fun, play our game. Keith?
All right, second down and 6 now for Florida State. And Cannell gives it to Dunn again, and he's got daylight on the right side. He's got another first down as he runs the ball to the 46-yard line. And good seal blocking on the right side. Got him around the corner.
This kid is tough, Keith. He is not very big. He only weighs 178 pounds, 5'9". But he is dangerous. He is second in the nation in yards per rush at 7.8 yards per rush, and that is outstanding. Only Kajana Carter at Penn State rushes for more yardage each carry.
First down for the Seminoles from their own 46. We're at 9:45 to go in the first quarter. No score. Cannell back to throw. Has time. Down the middle. Missed his man. Number 81, the tight end, Melvin Pearsall. It appeared that Pearsall was open.
Well, they had a lot of blitz on that time, a lot of players coming. And he had a chance to pick up a big play.
Both quarterbacks have had their moments, good and bad, this season. Second down and 10. Mainly because I suppose the offensive lines have been inconsistent. But the Florida State offensive front right there just opened the door for Warwick Dunn, and he picks up another Seminole first down at the Irish 41.
Shiver 53 and Tyre 66. Double team Oliver to begin with. Then the center comes off on Sample 36. That's a team block. You go into the man on the line of scrimmage, and one of them comes off. This time it was Shiver getting the block on the linebacker.
And so the Noles are moving the ball with Dunn and Crockett lined up in the backfield, and it's Dunn again breaking outside. Warwick Dunn gets 9 yards before they can get him. You had an Irish defender over there on the corner, but he took one step too far outside, and Dunn cut it in and picked up 9.
We talked about in the opening about the speed and quickness of Florida State versus the toughness and the physical line play defensively for Notre Dame. So far, that speed and quickness is winning out.
Rock Preston, a redshirt freshman, checks in. He's out of Miami. He's the tailback now as Dunn gets a breather on 2nd and 1. Give it to the fullback Crockett. He's at the 30. He's got a first down. Tonight, a new version of Disney classic on the ABC Family movie, Ed Begley Jr. and NYPD Blues' Sharon Lawrence, starring in The Shaggy Dog, followed by The Commish. Tonight here on ABC. Zach Crockett, 6'2", 245 pounds, and when he lines up at the fullback position, it looks like they've moved a guard or a tackle back there. He's so big, so much bigger than the tailback.
Doesn't get an opportunity to carry the ball that often, but he is a very good player.
Cannell gives it to the redshirt freshman Rock Preston. Great name, Rock and Zach, and they'll whack you. And he picked up 5. They'll make it 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
One of the things that Notre Dame is going to try to do, here's a corner right here. He's lined up. Watch as a corner is going to come from the outside. He's lined up short side of the field. If Cannell would have had a pass on and turned his back, that could very well have been a sack. Maybe something new for Notre Dame with all that time to work on it.
Here they come. Got him. Jeremy Sample came right down the middle of the highway. The inside linebacker. They just overran Crockett, the fullback. He had no chance. So many of them were coming through there.
Well, Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator, like a lot of coordinators, will say, if you're moving the ball on me offensively, I'm going to try and stop you. And if I can't stop you without blitzing, I'm going to send more guys than you can block.
Loss is back to the 35, where it is 3rd down and 15, and the Irish are in the nickel package now. Cannell pumps it, throws it to the ground, incomplete. Nobody open. Actually 6 DBs, and there was nobody to throw it to.
That's right, Keith. When you only rush 3 and you drop 8, they had a lot of people covering the receivers, and there was just nobody to throw it to.
So here's Mowry into punt. Sean Liss pulled a groin muscle quite severely in the game against Georgia Tech. Mowry stepped in and averaged 43 yards for the game. So he'll hit this one from around the 45. High, trying to kill it deep. Good coverage on it. Slid into the end zone. Are they going to give him the catch? At the 2. 33-yard punt. Oh, how effective it was. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. Sharp View Cam, the new movement in camcorders. Quaker State 4x4 motor oil, the intelligent oil for hardworking engines. And the beer that's colder, bolder, yet smooth as ice, Molson Ice, from Canada, the land where ice was born. He caught the ball on the 2, slid into the end zone. Lou Holtz argued vehemently that he had carried it in. It should come to the 20. Not so. It goes into play at the 2. These are Mid-American Conference officials. Notre Dame brought their own crew of officials.
Well, the ruling is once you catch the ball, it is immediately dead.
This is Ray Zellers, who I happen to think is a key man in the whole scheme of things offensively for Notre Dame. He doesn't get a lot of noise, but he is a very good fullback at 5'11", 221 pounds, a senior out of Pittsburgh. Lee Beckton is not quite as well or healthy, if you will, as Ray is. But these two fellas they've got on the field right now, very good, solid running backs. Healthy.
And exactly. There's Beckton. The thing they lost is not only the leadership, but the experience. Two big factors in this ball club.
Paulus throws, sets up a screen for Mosley. Doesn't work for much. He got out to about the 10-11 yard line, and the Seminoles jump him. He's going to be at least a couple of yards short of the first down.
Mosley, number 5, is an outstanding player, running back, wide receiver, is replacing Mike Miller, who was suspended and actually has left school earlier this week. Mosley, an outstanding player, was the 2-time player of the year from the state of Colorado.
Irish now send Mosley out of the ball game and bring in a second tight end. Leon Wallace is in there along with Oscar McBride. One wide out, that's Mays. It's 3rd down and 2, and you figure to run it, but not necessarily, and they won't. The pass is thrown to Mays. He is beyond the marker out to the 15-yard line, and they have a first down. So they roll it out and complete the pass.
Well, Lou was saying earlier in the week that one of the things he wanted to do is move the pocket for his quarterback, Paulus. His offensive line has been banged up. He's moved him around, as we said earlier in the game. They are not excellent pass blockers yet. They're young kids. One of the reasons he wanted to move the pocket, give him more time to throw.
5 minutes to go, first quarter. No score in the ball game. Notre Dame, first down from their own 16-yard line. Paulus quickly thrown outside to Derek Mays, picks up 8 yards on the play. Today's overhead shots courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes based in Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls, Captain Dick Ash from Sunrise, Florida. It'll be 2nd down and 2 as you see the blue sky framing stars and stripes. Could have been a very warm afternoon, except for the cloud cover all through the morning. It's 2nd down and 2. Back to the ball. Nothing. Good penetration by the defense of Florida State. Number 90, Derek Alexander, very much involved on that play.
This defense for Florida State is ranked 5th in the nation. Their offense is also in the top 5 in the nation, and only Nebraska has both their offense and their defensive teams in the top 5 in the NCAA.
Leonard Wilson, number 55, has checked into the ball game. He doesn't start, but he shows up in the numbers. It is 3rd down and 2. He gets around the corner very quickly. Timeout called by Notre Dame at 3:59 to go in the first period with no score.
That's great.
Coach, I just want you to know what this looks like now that you're qualified. You turned 65 on Tuesday. That's what they look like. You're good Medicare card. You ought to go down and get that now just in case anything happens.
Let's you and I go out and have us a good bottle of Geritol. Would you like to?
Nobody, well, only those who have done it know how hard it is to get that.
Well, I feel very qualified for that, and I sure thank you. I thank you.
Last Tuesday, joined some special ranks. Still bursting with energy.
Oh, yeah, he says he wants to coach. He doesn't know how long he wants to coach, but he knows he wants to coach for another 5 or 6 years.
It is 3rd and 2. You got Mark Edwards and Ray Zellers in the same backfield. So you get the big guys, and they give it to Beckton. And they're taking Zellers out, put Edwards in, and left Beckton there after a second thought. and Beckton popped into a stack and could not move it.
And it's the offensive line of Notre Dame that didn't get the job done. The FSU defensively, led by Alexander and his friends, just stuffed it.
Like running into a tree trunk. He didn't move it at all. Chris Wachtell is doing the punting, a sophomore out of Massillon. He's number 16. Brian Ford had been the punter, and he pops it quickly because there was some pressure on him, and it takes a Notre Dame roll and goes bounding across the 30 and expires at the Florida State 29. Later today, the college football doubleheader continues. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, second half, as Penn State goes to Illinois. Win, they lock the Rose Bowl in the Big Ten title. Arizona USC, big ball game with the Rose Bowl figuring in that one if Oregon should lose today at Stanford. The other regional action, Alabama Mississippi State. Alabama can clinch the Western Conference title in the Southeastern Conference. Baylor and Rice very much involved in what happens eventually in the Southwest Conference. So every game we've got today has something to do with a conference championship. So pay-per-view is available to you, and some of the cable operators, check with them. This is Rock Preston. So Rock Preston bolts out of the backfield for Florida State and puts the ball on the Notre Dame side of the field.
From behind the defense, Notre Dame, this ball is going to just a draw play, straight blocking, got it stuffed pretty nicely, and then he pops it over to our left side. Now the speed, he's just going to run by. That's Moore, number 9. And then finally, Irish catch up.
Ball is on the 43 of Notre Dame. First down, Florida State. Same ball carrier. This time he gets a couple of yards, and that'll do it, as Paul Grasmanis, the junior out of Jenison, Michigan, jumps him at the 41. Lou Holtz has talked quite a bit about what's been going on with his football team, and he made it quite clear that he didn't think his defensive people were nasty enough. They were not aggressive enough. He wanted to find some old boy with patched overalls riding a motorcycle who wanted a hard hat and day-old beard and to go out there and roll around in the mud and the blood.
And yet be a little faster and quicker.
Yes, that'd help too, wouldn't it? Pressure comes. There's the kind of guy he wants. Oliver Gibson. Third sack on Cannell.
Gibson, number 55, the nose tackle, playing over Shiver. He's going to go to the fakes, gun to the little cross there with Goheen. That's the linebacker. He waited for Goheen, then he went around, and there you see the two offensive linemen say, which way did he go?
And Zach Crockett saw him go by too and couldn't do a thing about it. So it's a big play by Gibson. The ball moved all the way back to the Florida State 48-yard line. It is third down and 20. Down the middle deep. He's got a man. It's too long. Kez McCorvey running under the rainbow. Couldn't find the pot of gold.
The one good thing that does is it stretches the field. It sends a message that Florida State will throw the ball deep down the field. Notre Dame defensive backs will remember that.
1:09 to go in the first quarter on this change of possession. There is still no score in the ball game. Mowry to punt. First kick was 33 yards, but it was very good. This is another very good punt, but it takes a bounce into the end zone and will come out to the 20-yard line. That was a 51-yard punt for Mowry. Some of the other scores, some of the other games that are going to be played later in the day. That one right there is very big.
So Paterno has a chance to lock up the Rose Bowl, huh?
Doing it in Champaign, though, is like walking around in quicksand in your Sunday slippers.
It won't be easy. That's what you're trying to say?
That's right.
I agree with you.
You might get out, but you'd be messed up a little. Now Notre Dame calls timeout as Paulus goes to the sideline. So the Irish will eventually snap it first down from their own 20. Notre Dame has burned all the timeouts now. They don't have one left for the second quarter. You got 1:01 to go in the first.
Yeah, the problem there, as you saw us go into commercial, Holtz had a play called, but he had the wrong group in the game, and he was talking to Mays as if you were supposed to be in there. You know, it was your group that was supposed to be in.
Paulus back to throw it. Goes deep down the middle. The pass is almost caught, but bounced and intercepted by Devin Bush for Florida State. The pass intended for Charles Stafford. He got his hands on it, flipped it up in the air. Eventually, it fell into the arms of Devin Bush for the interception.
This was something that they talked about. First down play action to the top left of your screen. They wanted Stafford to be inside of Abraham, number 2. Abraham has him covered well, and Bush gets back and gets the deflection for the interception.
So the strong safety supports on the play and gets his reward.
Well, he supported on the play action fake that might be a run. Then he saw, well, it's not going to be run. Then Bush got back and made a play on the deflection. Outstanding play.
Warwick Dunn and Zach Crockett in the backfield, and now Florida State doesn't have all of the pieces in place at 53 seconds to go in the first quarter. The play clock was down to 1 second, and it's either lose 5 yards or call timeout. Another look at the interception.
Bottom of your screen at Stafford on Abraham. The play action, they're going to try and fool the strong safety just to the inside. You see, he's fooled Bush for a second. If this ball was thrown more to the inside, he would have more of a chance, but the defender is not beat. Abraham is right there in good coverage, and then the other two defensive backs get there for the deflection.
So it is first down now as Florida State comes up in the shotgun. Wayne Messam, number 89, is in the ball game. Now he walks out of the shotgun as they shift into an I. And here comes a fake reverse. Dunn kept the ball. But the reverse worked well enough on the Irish linebackers that Dunn sneaks through the left corner and takes it to midfield for a first down. Pick up 11 yards.
The reverses this year for Florida State really have not done very well. It's almost as if Bowden has a reputation for trick plays. He had to do that when he didn't have skill players that had speed. Anymore, he doesn't need the trick plays. He's got players with ability. That's 6 carries for 54 yards for Dunn.
And he's got it again and will lose a yard this time, as firing in is number 49, Myron Cobbins, and Paul Grassmanis, 93.
It's like your reputation precedes you with Bowden. Everybody's looking for the reverses and the trick plays, and he just fakes the reverse now, and he can gain more yardage than he can with the reverse.
Second down, 11, and the quarter is over. So we played 15 minutes at the Florida Citrus Bowl, and it's no score between Notre Dame and Florida State. We go to the second quarter of play. No score in the ball game between the Seminoles and the Fighting Irish, and we're in Orlando for this ball game. Of course, that game a year ago, which Notre Dame won 31-24. Florida State was voted the national champions ahead of Florida State, and that's been a bit of bile ever since. But different folks are playing this game than played a year ago in many instances. It's second down, 11 now, and the ball is given to Dunn. And Warwick Dunn, having a big day, runs the football to the Notre Dame 38-yard line. That's a pickup of 13 yards. He's now got 67 yards in a ball game. Watch the clock.
There you go.
That time, you had the sense that it was going early.
Notre Dame has used all 3 of their timeouts. Florida State has used 1. It's our feeling that the clock has been starting pretty quickly. forcing the offense to use the timeouts.
Notre Dame shows blitz. Miss him. Done. Penalty flag, first one of the day. Going to be a face mask call. Somebody reached in and got it. So it'll go against the defenders. The referee today is Nick Define out of the Mid-American Conference.
Keith, let me show something. Here are the two safeties right in here. Normally they're back in this position here. Anytime these two safeties are up that close, it should tell the quarterbacks, hey, it's going to be a blitz. I can work one-on-one on my two outside receivers. Check the two outside guys. Single coverage and a lot of room to run. That's one of the things that a quarterback looks for. Now let's go back and take a look at the face mask right there. That's McGee, number 17. The guilty party.
Brock Preston checks in at tailback, called inadvertent 5-yard penalty. First down and 5 as the ball goes down to near the 33-yard line of Notre Dame. Cannell rolls out, looks and throws short. The receiver, fullback Crockett, had to reach back for it, but he makes the completion. Here's John Saunders.
Keith, in the Big Ten, Ohio State facing Indiana. 3rd and 8. Chris Ditto goes 13 yards to Ajamu Stoner for the touchdown. 7-0. The Hoosiers on the board. Back to you.
Hoosiers gave Penn State all they wanted for a while last week, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Had a couple of late touchdowns, though, made it look a little closer than it was.
Yeah. From the 28 now, first down for Florida State. No score.
Here they come.
Cannell's pass is away. Offensive line held up pretty well that time, and Kez McCorvey with his first catch of the day at the 20.
Take a look at the first quarter numbers. Florida State with 18 plays. Both had a turnover, which didn't hurt anybody. Total yardage in favor of Florida State. And the rushing yards, big in favor, 65-13. Notre Dame has to run the football to be successful today.
Right now their problem is defending. It's 2nd down and 2 as Florida State sits on the Irish 20. Cannell pitches to Dunn. Dunn keeps it after faking the reverse. Turns for the marker. He's close. I've been trying for 2 days to find out why that's called Lake Lorna Doone.
No, that's not the lake. That's downtown Orlando.
That's downtown.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
there's a lake right next to the stadium.
that's Rock Lake, probably the one down there. Pretty quiet downtown. Everybody heads for the suburbs at the end of a day. But we're going to eventually find out, as you see first down signal, why it's called Lake Lorna Doone. And we know that it was Orlando's first beach. There used to be a street over there called Lorna Doone. They dug up the street, so they kept the name. But I figure if we look long enough, we'll find a cookie at the bottom of it.
One of the things you learn sitting next to you for a few years.
First down at the 27-yard line. I mean 17-yard line. This is Dunn. Warwick Dunn all the way to the 6. First and goal, and here's another score update from John.
Well, Keith, we told you Indiana had taken the lead over Ohio State, but on the ensuing kickoff, Joey Galloway takes it at the 7, and then down the sidelines all the way. One final block right there. His back was turned, but he may have turned it himself. And it's a touchdown. They missed the extra point, 7-6. Keith.
First and goal, Florida State at the Notre Dame, just inside the Irish 6-yard line. And it's the first real threat of a touchdown in the game. And we've got 12.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. No score in the game. Cannell back for the corner. No. Defending over there for Notre Dame was 17, Brian McGee against McCorvey. McGee's 200-pounder, and he was able to keep him off the corner.
Well, this is a matchup that they want. McGee is the strong safety. 21 there is Bobby Taylor. But this is the matchup they wanted, but pretty good coverage. That's a dangerous throw if he would have thrown it lower. That's a good incompletion for Cannell. McGee used to be a cornerback before he moved to free safety this year.
Rock Preston is in there at tailback now. Fresh ledge. He's got the ball. And he fights his way to the 2-yard line. So he got at least half of it, maybe a little more on that carry. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 2.5.
Be interesting to see now what Mark Richt and Bobby Bowden, the offensive coordinator, and Bowden come up with. They've had some inconsistencies. Cannell has thrown some interceptions this year. It'd be interesting to see if they let him throw it or if they run it in, try to run it in.
I would think they'd try to run it in. Dunn is back in there.
Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator for the Irish.
3rd and goal from the 2.
Here they come.
Dunn's got it, keeps it, heading for the corner, won't get there. They had it played just right. It'll be 4th down, and it's Bobby Taylor, number 21, the first man to get there. McGee mopped up.
Tried to trick him. Instead of trying to go straight at him and try to beat him with your ability, the choice was, we'll try and fool him. Fake the reverse. This is the 3rd time they've done this. And 2 defensive backs are there. Taylor misses. McGee finishes it off.
So Dan Mowry, who went through that miserable year 2 years ago, Scott Bentley came in to replace him, and now he has the job back from Bentley and hits it. Good. He knocks a 20-yarder down, and Florida State finally gets on the scoreboard to lead 3-0. They're expecting a crowd somewhere around 73,000 for today's ball game. Sold out as of June. Mowry got a big old load off his back with that 20-yard field goal to put the Seminoles on top 3-0. Emmett Mosley, number 5, is the man waiting. He is a sophomore from Aurora, Colorado, and if I remember correctly, that's where Scott Bentley came from to go to Florida State. High hanging kickoff. Little short, 8-yard line. Mosley. And a pretty good return all the way out to about the 35-yard line. Michael Miller normally would be the man returning those kicks, but he's off the team. He's had some legal troubles down in Texas, and he's been dropped from the team. This week on ABC's Monday Night Football, AFC powers collide live from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. The Steelers will be looking at Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills Monday at 9, 6 Pacific on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
Need somebody to stand up and take charge in the AFC.
Lee Becton and Ray Zellers in the backfield for the Irish now, and it's Becton number 4, a change of direction. Pretty hard to do when you got a sore groin muscle. Picked up 3. Let's join John Saunders for this.
Keith, in the Big East, Syracuse and Boston College ball at the 8-yard line. Mark Hartzell goes to Kenyatta Watson. He's in for the touchdown, and right now BC is up 10-0 over number 17. Keith.
BC's having a pretty good year.
Yes, they are.
After a slow start. 2nd down, call it 6. From the 39. Stafford almost got himself in the neutral zone. That ball is over the head of the intended receiver, Sekai Champion. He was hit as the ball passed through the neighborhood, but there was no way in the world he was going to catch that football.
Take a look at, I believe this is Abraham right here. Look as he's looking into the quarterback. The pattern is the inside receiver is going to break to the outside. Watch as the quarterback, Abraham, looks all the way. This could have been picked off.
Yep. More likely intercepted than caught by the receiver.
Yeah, when you're throwing that and Paulus is young, you've got to look at the outside coverage, man, to make sure he goes off and plays deep. That time he did not.
3rd down and 6. looking. Here they come, and he gets the ball away and throws it away, and he will take some punishment. As Todd Rebold, number 48, linebacker, came in and laid a lick on him along with Reinhard Wilson. And the Florida State defense gets a hand. Wachtel is out of Massillon, Ohio. James Colsey, a sophomore from Miami, is waiting for it for Florida State. So the Seminole defense asserting itself in that series. Spinner might have a little room to run it. Gets back across the 30-yard line. 45-yard punt. 9:53 to go in the first half. He sits out there in the sun all afternoon. That may become a permanent part of his skin finish. We have the clock up there at 19:53. We believe, having checked with certain sources, that you can omit the left side number and just read it as 9:53. That was indeed a considered risk that I took.
It's about the only thing that's gone wrong with this game this week. Chuck Rowe and the Citrus Bowl folks doing a nice job of putting this together.
30-yard line is where the ball's located. And it's first down for Florida State. Beginning to assert themselves a bit now as they're working with the clock now, trying to get it to work better. At the conclusion of today's game, we will be selecting a genuine Chevrolet most valuable player of the game from each team, and for the 24th year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. 3-0 ball game. Florida State leading Notre Dame. We told you a moment ago that the Mid-American Conference is providing the officials. That's part of the arrangement with the Irish, and that's the conference they have their officiating contract with. The referee is Nick Define. The umpire is Dave Foley. Linesman Dan Kett. Field judge is Don Edwards. Harold Dines, the line judge. Side judge Paul Engelberts, and the back judge Perry Paganelli, and the clock operator is Joe Ryder.
Danny Cannell, what's life after Charlie Ward? Well, it's tough following a Heisman Trophy winner that operated the fast break offense. Things have not gone as smoothly as they have liked, but he has played well at times.
Cannell is going to throw it. Throws a bouncer in front of Omar Allison, a fifth-year senior from Griffin, Georgia.
And this is one of the problems, inconsistency. The receiver was open. Cannell just hurried it a little bit. Danny is from a small 1A high school in Fort Lauderdale. The question obviously is, can you come out of a program like that and compete at the top level?
What are the mechanics causing a quarterback to throw it in the ground like that?
Too short a stride or too big a stride. Sometimes you overstride, you throw the ball high. It seemed like he took a big stride and threw it low that time. Just accuracy.
Here goes Preston. Dropped down behind the line of scrimmage. Jermaine Holden in at defensive end made the play. Holden was a star of the future for Notre Dame, it seems, just a year ago, and he ran into all kinds of physical ailments, and just now beginning to find his way. It is third down and 12. When he raises his leg like that, he's telling him, snap it when you want. He snaps it to Preston, the tailback, and Preston takes off down the sidelines with a huge gain. Rock Preston with one of those Bobby Bowden gimmick plays. He snapped it right straight to the tailback, and away he flew.
This is one of the better gimmick plays. Watch as the ball goes straight to number 24. A trap block by Tyre, number 66. Unsuspecting, the men in the secondary are dropping back for their pass coverage. They saw the ball in the air, and Cannell did a nice job of acting as though he received the ball. 46 yards later, Preston is shoved out of bounds.
LaRon Moore had the man. He had to make the play, and he just simply didn't make it. And it's first down for Florida State. The ball is at the 26-yard line of Notre Dame. Warwick Dunn is back in the backfield, and he's going to lose a yard or so as the Irish defenders rise up and smack him down. Oliver Gibson leading the defensive surge. Dunn has 80 yards and Preston 81 yards of the ball game, so Bobby's tailbacks are doing pretty well.
Yes, they are. Bobby lost the offensive coordinator off last year's team. Brad Scott went to be the head coach at South Carolina. Mark Richt is now the offensive coordinator. Calls the plays, except he says, well, every now and then Bobby says, let me take a series. And usually when it gets inside the 10, the head coach likes to call the plays too.
Of course.
Of course. That hasn't changed at any level.
Second down, 11. Here comes the pressure. Cannell running, gets away, throws, complete. At the 13-yard line. Omar Ellison made that catch on his knees.
That was a good call, whoever called it, because Notre Dame and Bob Davie, the coordinator, says, you're moving on us, we're going to blitz you to try and force a bad play. They blitz. Quarterback gets outside the pocket. Ellison has one-on-one on the outside. The quarterback is out there near him. It should be an easier throw. Throws it low and away, and a nice pickup. Yes.
13-yard line, first down. Warwick Dunn has the ball. Number 22, Sean Wooden, wrestled him out of bounds. Not much on the play. Probably getting kind of warm down on the field by now.
Earlier in the week, the weather was kind of bad in South Bend, rainy and kind of cool. So Holtz took them indoors, turned up the heat, and had all the players wear thermals just to get them ready for this weather and the humidity down here in Orlando. So they had some guys dropping out about the end of practice.
It's been around 80, 85 degrees all week. Cannell back out of the shotgun, has good time, and throws over the head of Andre Cooper. 20, what is it like now as the sun's been out for a couple of hours?
Keith, it's not just a tad warm, it is hot and humid. I'd say it's probably in the upper 70s or low 80s, and it's very humid. You know, the Florida State people on the sideline, when they came out for pregame warm-up, were lamenting the fact that there was cloud cover and a lot of breeze because they wanted to be hot. They felt like they were more accustomed to this humid weather, and Notre Dame wasn't. So they're glad the sun came out.
Seminoles have called timeout. We've got 7:16 to go in the first half, and Florida State leading 3-0, threatening again. Earlier today, football legend Gale Sayers, national spokesperson for the Hitachi Promise of Tomorrow Scholarship Program, along with Hitachi Vice President Dan Kuwai, Vice President America, took part in a ceremony honoring Notre Dame's Kristen Lafleur and Florida State's Tim Kerrigan as recipients of a $5,000 teaching scholarship. Way to go, guys. That's nice.
Sir, you talk about a class man, and my man Gale Sayers.
$5 grand, that's nice.
Look at this, total yardage. Notre Dame is balanced, but not a lot. Florida State is getting it done running the football. That is not their normal MO. They are normally the passing team, get most of their yardage through the air, at least 70% of it. Not today. Going on the ground.
1 out of 4 in third down conversions. 3rd and 9.
Here they come.
Cannell gets it away, and it is incomplete. Defending on the play, LaRon Moore, the pass intended for E.G. Green. This crowd is about 65% pro-Seminole, and they didn't like it.
Bad route. E.G. Green just does not get open.
Nope, he did not. So Dan Mowry is in.
And
he has a 20-yarder, and he's going to be looking at 30-31 here.
Hey, don't hang that one on the quarterback. That was one-on-one and a bad route.
Defending those QBs. 30-yard try. Good. So Mowry is 2 for 2. And 7:07 to play in the first half. It is now a 6-0 lead for the Seminoles.
Here's a look. Now watch, the linebackers are going to be coming, which is going to mean single coverage. Here the receiver is going to go into the end zone and break to the outside. E.G. Green, blitz come man-to-man coverage. You got all that room to the top. Stop it right there. Look at all this room out here. Now he wants to throw the ball out here if the receiver can get out there. He's stumbling, he's tripping, can't get out there. I mean, you'd love to have that set up and have time to throw. The offensive line in the backs gave him time to throw. The receiver just didn't follow up on it.
Later today, the college football action continues. 3:30 Eastern. These are the games, and every one of them have something to do with the pursuit of a conference championship and a bowl bid. You should also check your local cable operator to see what games he might be offering on pay-per-view, as well as the game that's offered free in your area. That follows our game today from the Florida Citrus Bowl between Florida State and Notre Dame.
So look at the last Florida State scoring drive. 4 passes, 4 rushes.
But they're not getting it in the end zone.
That's right.
Mowry kicking from the 35. Mosley will come up to the 8. And he's back to the 27-yard line with the return. And you've got 1 tick more than 7 seconds as the Gators and the Gamecocks are now even at 7 in the first quarter. Florida State, of course, will have Florida in Tallahassee the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Ooh-wee. Mark Edwards and Lee Becton, the backfield now for the Irish. Total plays in the game. Florida State's had 34. Notre Dame only 16. This is a pretty good run by Becton, his longest of the day. Picked up 7 yards. Corey Fuller brought him down.
Notre Dame has had the ball 5 times, and the second time they had it on the Florida State 30-yard line, missed a field goal, and have not done much with it since then. The one play, the interception, was a first down play that turned into 3 points for Florida State.
2nd and 3. The fullback, Edwards, to midfield, and a first down. His first bounce was about the 48-yard line. John Saunders with a story about the Gator touchdown.
Keith, as you mentioned, 2 weeks from today, we will have them against Florida State. And here going to work is Danny Werfel. 7 yards as he's flushed out of the pocket to Riedel Anthony. It ties the game at 7 apiece. BC and Syracuse, Mark Hartzell has a couple of touchdown passes there.
Here goes Lee Becton again. And suddenly the Notre Dame ground game finds a spark. And the Irish come surging down the field to a first down at the Florida State 27.
Watch the offensive line. Leahy is 72. He's going to be blocking on Wadsworth, number 85. There's a huge hole in there. Ziegler gets a nice block, 77. It's called experience and leadership. Becton and Zellers are back.
Nothing this time as Zellers pops into the line, will come out of there with 1 yard. The 2 previous plays were the longest plays of the day for the Irish. First, there was the 14-yard run, and then the 25-yard run.
Holtz lost 3 of his top offensive linemen from last year. Taylor, Ruddy, and Norman. Lost 3 of them. Then he had injuries in his offensive line earlier in the year, and that has only been one of the offensive problems.
Sam Cowart just came off the field for the Seminoles, shaken up a bit. Hinder and Zellers in the backfield for the Irish. Second down and 9. Paulus looking, throws, intercepted. He threw the ball right to Derek Brooks. There's an old saying in golf, if you're going to lay up, lay up. There's an old saying in quarterbacks, don't throw it to the guy in the other colored shirt.
I mentioned some of the problems was in the offensive line. The other is you just can't go into a season without a quarterback that has taken some snaps. Paulus is talented, but he is new, he is inexperienced. He saw Derek Mays, but look at the number of red shirts or maroon or whatever you call the color. Look at all the shirts around that football. He's trying to make something out of every play. He's telling him right now, son, if the play's not there, throw it away. You can't. There are some plays that just aren't going to turn out like we worked on them in practice. And if that's the case, throw it away and we'll come back with another play.
One of the Seminoles is shaken up on the play. Who is it? Abraham. He's all right. He is a tough little guy, boy. He scored 8 touchdowns in his career from a cornerback position.
Here he is outside the pocket. He's trying to get it. Now, right now, he's open, but watch as it's going to close up. See, the defensive linebacker in his face, he threw it over his head. You think you can make a play. Great quarterbacks always think you can make great plays. You've got to know when not to try.
This is Warwick Dunn tiptoeing around in among all of those great big people. And the 178-pounder was going to come out of there with about 8 yards.
There's Ron Paulus. Outstanding career in high school, a top quarterback coming out a couple of years ago. 17 yards, 2 interceptions. You just can't go into a season and have the problems. If he had a strong offensive line, Keith, and if he would have had Becton and Zellers with him all the way, a young, inexperienced quarterback maybe could have done some better things, but you can't ask an inexperienced quarterback to carry your team when you don't have anybody else around him to help.
Second down and 2. This is Dunn. Well, they just overran him. And then all of a sudden, a couple of the Seminoles got solid blocks on the would-be tacklers, and Dunn pops out of there. He's had 15 carries in the game. He's got 100 yards, and we've got 4 minutes to play in the first half.
Well, we said the game would be won and lost in the line. Watch the Florida State line now. Tyre is 66, 77 is Hernandez. But the 2 key players that have made the Florida State linemen look good are Dunn and Preston. 2 little scat backs that have really set up their blocks well.
Ball is on the 43. Cadell pitches, and this time they give it to Ellison on the reverse, and he'll gain about 8 yards. He ran about 25 or 30, but north and south will total about 8.
Well, that's the 4th time they've run a reverse or fake reverse, and the first time it was an actual reverse. I guess Bobby Bowden thought they had him set up. Now we'll go ahead and give it to him. These 2 guys, these 2 coaches know each other pretty well. Go back a long time.
Rock Preston shifts into the tailback spot. Give it to the up man. The fullback, and Zach Puckett gets a carry and picks up the first down. At halftime, Prudential halftime report. John Saunders scores and highlights. Julie Moran profiling Heisman Trophy candidates Kerry Collins and Kajana Carter, the leaders of the Penn State offense. Well, again, you know, it's quarterback, running back, but nobody says anything about all those big uglies up there knocking open the door.
These 2 guys have known each other for 25 years. It goes back to when they met as recruiters and assistant coaches. Lou even spent some of his honeymoon. Spent a couple nights in Bowden's home in Tallahassee on his honeymoon.
Cannell throws it hard and completes it to Andre Cooper at the 25-yard line, and now they're saying no. The man on the side over here called it complete, but he had the player between him and the ball, and the people over in the center of the field who could see it said no, it bounced. Cannell is 4 out of 12 now for only 36 yards.
See, the nose of the ball is down right there. It's just a poor throw. You know what causes that? Yeah, the ball does come out. Good call. What causes that is uncertainty about being picked off. I don't know where all the people are. Am I going to throw this and get it picked off? You kind of hesitate. You don't get the right rotation on the football.
Ball is on the 29-yard line now. It is 2nd down and 10. Down he goes. The ball is loose. Notre Dame's got it. Here goes Bobby Taylor. You won't bet me. Touchdown Irish. A chance to take the lead. .56 yards. That'll go into the books officially as 57 yards. Scott Sinja now is in with an opportunity to put the Irish in front. Charles Stafford holds it. John Spickelmeyer snaps it. Notre Dame leads 7-6. 2:45 to go in the first half.
Earlier in the game, I pointed out when the cornerbacks are up in bump and run right here, and you're in the short side of the field. See, this is a short side of the field right here. You got to be careful about this guy coming in from that look. The quarterback has got to keep his eyes on him. He's got his back turned to him. He's got tons of time. But anytime you're at the line of scrimmage as a quarterback and you see the corners up in the short side of the field, you better be knowing where that guy is after the snap. Taylor is a big play guy, and he just made a great play.
He made the hit. He made the recovery. He scored the touchdown.
The play action fake was away from him. He knocks the ball loose and makes it look easy.
Bloodlines are too good in that boy. Olympic champion's son. He can run.
He's had a tough year. He's had a broken hand. He came in making a lot of the All-American teams. He was a free safety last year. He's got outstanding talent. They've put him back at corner, and he's only had one interception coming into this ball game. But that fumble return for a touchdown puts the Irish ahead.
Kyler McMillan makes his first appearance of the ball game, number 33. He will go back and be a receiver under the kickoff, along with Omar Ellison. Ball is taken by Ellison upfield. Short kick. Fumbles the ball, and they're going to call him down. Florida State will keep it.
Take a look and see what we can see. Yeah, I think it's a good call. It looked to me like the ball did not come out early, and then I didn't see it out until he was on the ground.
That touchdown by the Notre Dame kicking team was the 35th special teams defensive touchdown under Lou Holtz at Notre Dame. He knows how to coach that side of football, I'll guarantee you. Cannell gives the ball to Warwick Dunn. Dunn gets tangled up with Irie Covington out of Decatur, Georgia. And he's taken down, but again, he's got pretty good yardage. Today's pictures from the sky coming from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. The Goodyear Blimps are now in their 4th decade of live sports coverage. Put the ball on the 38. We're at 2nd down and 4. Little delay. Ball looped out to the fullback, Crockett. Crockett's got a first down for Florida State near midfield.
It was a nice throw by Cannell. It was a tough throw, not a long throw, but a tough one. You know, sometimes when you get your head knocked off like he did on that play by Taylor, maybe knocks some sense into you, says, all right, I got all the butterflies are gone. Now let me just get out here and make some plays. I've been there, I know.
That is if you survive it.
Yeah, it's true. I've been in that situation before.
Crockett has caught 3 of the 5 Florida State pass completions. First down at midfield. This is done again. And give him 6 yards on the carry. Minute 25 to go in the first half. Notre Dame leading Florida State 7-6. And Warwick Dunn now on his 17 carries has 112 yards.
Big time rushing for Dunn. It's a strange game, Keith. The running game for Florida State has been good, but yet defensively Notre Dame has sacked Cannell 4 times.
It's Crockett and Preston now in the backfield. Cannell throws good. Ellison. And pushed out of bounds down around the Irish 32-yard line. Ivory Covington, a freshman defender at right cornerback on the boundary side, made the defensive play. Florida State stung by the defensive touchdown for the Irish, trying to come back down the field after 2 field goals. Florida State with 1 timeout remaining, and you must remember that Notre Dame burned theirs in the first quarter. "47 seconds as he comes up for the snap. Blitz coming. Passes away. McCorvey. Here's McCorvey to about the 21.
It's a nice read by Cannell. Calling timeout.
That's the last one.
Cannell seems to be becoming more aware. Watch here. The 2 inside linebackers are going to blitz. Then you're going to get out here. Everything you want, man-to-man, one-on-one. If you get the ball to him quickly. Now stop it right here. Look at all this. If this player can make something happen out here, you've got one-on-one, could go for a big play. You beat the blitz, you see it coming, you got it to your #1 receiver. Just couldn't break loose.
They marked the ball back outside the 23, where McCorvey's knee first touched the ground.
Look at Bob Davie, the head of the defense for the Irish. You know, I was talking to him earlier this week, and he was saying that Lou has been very supportive. You know, you hear all this business about 5 defensive coordinators in 9 years of Holtz has been there. And there was a shot of in the Boston College game of Lou going over and talking to him and putting his hand. Everybody thought that he was giving him the business about not being any good. He was talking to him about, yes, we need to convert. We're going to the 4-3 style, very similar to what Davie had at Texas A&M, an aggressive, quick guys upfield. They have gone to that. They're committed to going to the 4-3 with some quick ends, very similar to what Florida State, Miami, and now Nebraska have gone to. Quick defenses, lighter players.
DBs become linebackers, linebackers become rush.
Yeah, and he said Lou has been very supportive of the whole thing.
Second down and a very long one. It's at least 1.5 yards. That's Preston. He's got it. He's out of bounds at the 3. Boy, these 2 tailbacks are tearing them up. Preston's going to be right at 100 yards himself.
Give some credit to that offensive line. Yeah, both backs now over 100 yards in the first half. Watch the offensive line for the Seminoles. The left tackle sets up. Now he's going to run inside That's 48 win. 77 doing the blocking is Hernandez.
That's Crockett, the fullback, and on 1st and goal from the 3, stacked up at the 2. Florida State does not have another timeout remaining. It's 14 seconds and the clock is running.
Throw the ball on the ground.
Better hurry. 7, 6, 5, 4, and a penalty flag. Not very good management of the clock.
Nope.
Play that I don't really truly understand. Why would you run it in the middle with your fullback when you don't have no time left?
You got to throw it. I think that gets back to your how good do you feel about your quarterback and your position about letting him throw it into the end zone.
Yep. Mowry's coming out. So it looks like they're going for the field goal and the lead with 4 seconds remaining.
Well, there's no question that with an experienced quarterback, and certainly last year with Charlie Ward, you throw it in the end zone. But the problem, inconsistency at quarterback this year. They don't want to take any chances.
The clock was stopped on the penalty flag. Where's the penalty? Offsides against Notre Dame. Oh, the Irish trying to anticipate. Get a call offside.
We had no snap. We had 12 guys on the defense. The penalties enforced is a dead ball foul, 5 yards for illegal substitution. There was offsides after the snap. There is no foul on that one because the ball was never snapped legally. We'll penalize Notre Dame half the distance, put 6 seconds left on the clock.
Way to go. Way to go, Nick Define.
That's what that microphone is for.
That's right. There's no way in the world sitting up here 100 yards away from it I could possibly have told you exactly what had happened.
Are all these fans in the stand? Now you know. Doesn't make any difference. Florida State was going to stop the ball, stop the clock anyway. They had time. So the fact that they're going to move it half the distance closer, I don't think is going to change what Florida State's going to do.
6 seconds now. Dan Mowry is in for his 3rd field goal try. He's hit from 20 and from 30. And this one they're going to put down.
There was dead ball, illegal substitution, 12 men on the defense before the snap. Put 6 seconds back on the game clock.
It'll be a 19-yard field goal try. It's good. 1 second left in the first half. And Florida State back to the lead 9-7.
Missed opportunities, Keith. How many times have Florida State been inside the 5-yard line? Now, they've been inside the 5-yard line 3 times and have settled for a field goal each time.
They keep letting them hang around. Get yourself in trouble. Maryland comes out to a lead over Virginia. That's a program that appears to be on the way back.
Duke NC State game is a big one. Duke could finish 2nd in the ACC.
That's a pretty good bowl date in the coalition arrangement.
Yes, it is.
Florida State's looking at some big numbers if they win it out. No question about that.
I think, Keith, what you do here, you just squib it along the ground so you don't allow Notre Dame to get any timing on your return. Kick it to one of the short guys and let them touch it. As soon as they touch it, the clock starts.
That's exactly what he does. And Beckton fields it. There is no time remaining. As soon as somebody tackles him, halftime is over, and there it is. So at halftime at the Florida Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida State 9, Notre Dame 7. Now here's John Saunders.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. And coming up in just a moment on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll have scores and highlights from other games, plus Julie Moran at Penn State. All coming up in just a moment.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. And Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Stay tuned for the Prudential Halftime Report after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The halftime score, Florida State 9 and Notre Dame 7. And the best way I could, I guess, in my own vernacular describe this, if you let me hang around long enough, I'm going to get to crystal and silver both. And that's about what Florida State's doing.
Well, we said that at the beginning that Notre Dame was very dangerous. If they win this game, they get a lot of respect. Florida State has dominated in every area, but they have not dominated when they got inside the 10 and inside the 5-yard line. And Notre Dame is hanging around. Holtz is going to make some good adjustments at halftime, and anything could happen here in the second half, and Florida State needs to be concerned.
Got to get some touchdowns. It was 3-0 on a 20-yard field goal as we look to some of the highlights with Florida State going out to the lead. Dan Mowry getting the first points up for them. And then Preston, Rock Preston, ran 46 yards to set up.
Let me show you
the second touchdown, and this is how it happened.
The snap is going to come right here to Preston, which was a surprise to begin with. Now watch as Johnson, the guard, is going to pull over here and trap, and Preston is going to go right behind the trap block for about, well, a big run anyway. Snap goes right there. Good block by Johnson. Another good block inside by Fordham, 71. Breaks a tackle. And the two running backs for Florida State have both rushed for over 100 yards in the first half.
So that made it on a 30-yard field goal, 6-0. And then came the Irish touchdown as Bobby Taylor from the top of the picture comes streaking across, eluded the block, decks the quarterback, knocked the ball loose, picked the ball up, ran 57 yards for a touchdown with the fumble, and Notre Dame's kick was good to lead 7-6. And then Preston comes back with another run of 21 yards to set up Florida State's third field goal. That run gave Preston 102 yards in the first half. Warwick Dunn wound up in the first half well over 100 yards, like 117 yards. So the tailbacks are having a big ball game for the Noles. We're ready to go with the second half of play. Florida State 9 and Notre Dame 7, and the Irish will kick it off. Senja knocks it back inside the 5 to the goal line. It's Rock Preston, one of those tailbacks. And he got away from the first would-be tackler to bring the ball out to about the 22-yard line.
Here's a look at the first half stats, dominated by Florida State. 261 yards of total offense to only 80. Notre Dame has only rushed for 63 yards. Only 4 first downs for Notre Dame, 17 for Florida State. And the turnovers, 2 apiece, and both teams have scored. Florida State possessions in the first half, they had 7 of them, and they scored on 3 of their last 4, albeit only field goals from inside the 5-yard line.
Oh, here come the Noles now with Warwick Dunn and Zach Crockett lined up in the backfield behind Danny Cannell. And Cannell gives it to Dunn. Dunn trying to get outside. The flag is thrown as number 17, Brian McGee, makes the tackle. Referee threw the flag, and you got a holding call against Florida State.
Individually, offensive leaders, Florida State, Cannell, 7 of 15, 69, but he was sacked 4 times, and one of them turned into a touchdown. Both backs over 100 yards. Crockett, the fullback, leads the receivers with 3.
That is the first assessed penalty against Florida State.
Sample and Davis lead the tacklers for Notre Dame.
Fan, very useful too. Ball rests inside the 15-yard line where it's first down and 17. Holding being penalized from the spot of the foul. This is done. And he runs out to about the 18, and let's check in with Lynn Swank.
Keith, going off the field, Coach Bobby Bowden told me that Notre Dame had anticipated everything in the goal line they tried to do. So he's going to try to make some adjustments there. He was surprised to hear that both of his running backs had over 100 yards. He said, well, I guess I'll come out and I'll just keep running the football. When he talked to the team at halftime, he told them we should be up by 21, not by 2. They're in our backyard. We're going to go out and play our game, and we're going to win this darn thing, so let's go after it. Keith?
All right, 18-yard line, 2nd down and 14 for the Noles. One blitz. The inside guys coming. Gunn broke past the 2 inside people. Sprocket, rather, broke past the 2 inside would-be blitzers as they were picked up. But he did not get much beyond the line of scrimmage as he will have the ball marked to the 22. 3rd down and about 10.
It's tough offensively, Keith, when you come out and you get a 10-yard holding penalty and you sit back, you get pushed back, and it's the 2nd, 3rd, and long on your first drive of the game. Now, big play here early in the second half, 3rd and 10 or 11.
Could be a will breaker, or at least start whittling on it, or it could be something else. Cannell rolls. Pressure coming, passes away, and it's completed to Ellison. Omar Ellison making the catch beyond the marker, and the Noles have a 1st down.
All right, what was talked about in the Seminole locker room, he has been sacked 4 times, had pressure from everywhere from Notre Dame, so the 1st, 3rd, and long, let's get him outside the pocket. You roll him out, and he picks up a big 1st down, overcoming that holding penalty.
In case you wondered through your mind as to when the last time Florida State went a half of football without a touchdown, 1st half, it was against Nebraska. Oh, here we go. Preston's the tailback. Gets the ball. And number 54 takes his feet away, Justin Goheen. But again, it's big yardage on 1st down. And when you're running for 6, 7, 8 yards on 1st down, you're doing pretty well.
Well, Goheen, number 54, the middle linebacker, the heart and soul of this defense for the Irish. He has led. You see him just slides down the line, avoids the block, and gets the tackle. He has led this team in tackles the last 2 years.
1st down rush average for Florida State so far in the ball game is better than 5.5 yards. That's pretty good. Yes, it is. Or did he get some blocking? My goodness. Number 56. Well, Shiver got a big block for it. Chad Bates, I think it was, got a big block.
Pierre Cooper, the wide receiver, got a block too.
But he came around the corner. It was nothing but green in front of him.
Watch the left side. Tarr is 66. 77 is Hernandez. Crockett is 32. There he goes down. Now watch this block right there. That's Taylor being blocked by Cooper. And you got Green on the outside working for you.
Preston now has 134 yards on 9 carries, and this is Tiger McMillan getting his first scrimmage action of the day. And McMillan at one time was thought to be a starter. I mean, one of the stars. But I'll tell you what, Dunn showed up last year to put the heat on, and here comes Preston this year.
Well, McMillan, as you mentioned, has had some injuries and problems in the past. I want to go back to that previous play when we were talking about those wide receivers blocking, Keith. If you hear some problems that some wide receivers are having with coaches around the country, it may not be because of their catching ability, but it may be because of the attitude that they have when a pass is not called and they have to go block somebody. The coaches want the wide receivers to block. That is just outstanding right there.
Jeremy now had to leave the ball game, hobbling off the field.
236 yards of rushing. We're just in the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Burt Berry checks in. He had the big play early on in the ball game. Remember, McMillan stays in there at tailback, and wham! He gets a greeting from Alton Malden, number 42. Here's Swanee.
Keith, Warwick Dunn has a mild shoulder bruise. I don't think it's anything very serious. He's still on the sideline, but with Preston running so well, I don't think it's a major problem for the Florida State offense at the moment. Keith?
That's why we have McMillan in then.
Probably doesn't want to come out of there, though, does he, Lynn? having a good day like this, you want to stay in.
Third down and
Doesn't hurt
7.
the team.
Doesn't hurt too much when you're headed for 150 or better.
Here they come again.
Here's McCorvey. Tackle made by Bobby Taylor. He's short of the first down on the reception by a couple of yards. 9-7 Florida State leads. 11:20 to play in the third quarter. Ellison going toward the top of the screen now as a wideout. They look a little disorganized, and they are, and they're going to call timeout. So it's a Florida State timeout on 4th and 2. They didn't have all the pieces in place. All right, we're looking at a 4th and 2. The ball is at the Notre Dame 27-yard line, and the Seminoles are going with Crockett and Dunn in the backfield with Cannell. So Dunn's back in there. He's got it. He didn't make it, I don't think. Justin Goheen was the man that laid the lick on him, and you could hear it almost in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, it was a thump.
Here's Goheen. He's all the way on this side. Watch as he's going to come way across the formation. None of the defensive linemen allow an offensive lineman to get through. There's a gapping hole there, but so is Goheen. Good call by Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator.
10 plays, no points. Notre Dame takes over. First down, their own 27. Zellers and Becton in the backfield. This is Becton. And he runs it out to the 32 for a pickup close to 4.5. Now let's get this story from John.
Keith, Minnesota and Michigan, the battle for the little brown jug. Tim Shade goes to Aaron Osterman. 32 yards. He's wide open, picks it up at the 9 and does the rest of the work. Minnesota leads 15-7. Also, we told you South Carolina was up 10-7. A couple of quick strikes for the Gators. Keith.
Nothing like a little brown jug on a cool winter night in northern Michigan or Minnesota. This is Ray Zellers. And he's just short, apparently, of the first down.
The first half possessions for Notre Dame, they had 6 of them. The last 2 of the last 3 ended in interceptions, and the only time they had great field position, they didn't do anything, missed a field goal, in fact. Not many good numbers here. Paulus is 3 of 9 with 2 interceptions. Becton with 38 yards, and Mays 2 receptions, 13 yards. Not a lot of offense in the first half for the Irish.
They gave him the 38-yard mark. Edwards and Zellers in the backfield, and it's first down Notre Dame. Here comes a reverse with Mosley. Nothing doing. Derek Brooks smelled it all the way and ate it up. It was a buffet table for Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks is one of your outstanding players, Keith. He just smelled that, saw it coming all the way.
Loss is back to the 35. It'll be second down and 13 for Notre Dame. Florida State leading 9-7 at the 9-minute mark to go in the third quarter. This is Mark Edwards. Not much. Ball is exactly on the 36. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Beckton checks back in. Complete to midfield and a 1st down caught by Derek Mays. Devin Bush made the tackle.
Key there was good offensive line pass blocking by the Irish. Gave Paulus enough time to sit in the pocket and pick up a 1st down.
Exactly at midfield. 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Paulus, a little pitch out to Beckton. And Beckton all the way to the Florida State 35. Another 1st down tomorrow. ABC Sports goes to Bermuda for a unique golf format. Corey Pavin and the game's top shot makers at the Merrill Lynch Shootout Championship. Tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 3 Central and Pacific here on ABC Sports. What a year Jim Elvis has been having.
Hasn't he been outstanding?
Oh, wonderful. 1st down. And Paulus hands it inside to Zellers. Zellers is a 221-pound senior out of Pittsburgh. Mark Edwards, the other fullback, 44, is a 221-pound sophomore from Norwood, Ohio. They look a bit alike when they hunker down to play. Coming up on 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The Irish hanging around, trailing by 2. This is Beckton. You don't arm tackle him. He ran through a couple of Seminoles and picks up another Irish 1st down. Check in with Len.
Keith, coming out into the field for the 2nd half, Lou Holtz told me that he told his kids that you can play with these guys. He said the defense of Florida State is overplaying the pass. He feels like they're going to ought to be able to run the ball well, but he really wanted to re-emphasize to his kids that you're in this ball game, you can win it if you eliminate the mistakes. Keith?
1st down at the 24 of Florida State. This is Beckton. And he's to the 19. Close to 5. This is the longest Notre Dame offensive march of the ball game. They've had 9 plays.
You know, Holtz is known for being a motivator of young people, and obviously coming out the 2nd half, he's got them thinking that they can play with these people because they are moving the football. This is their best drive of the game, as you mentioned. No question.
2nd, about 5.5. Scrimmage, Derek Alexander. Derek Alexander had a big game a year ago against the Irish, and he just made his 3rd big play of this game.
Nothing fancy either, just overpowering the lineman in front of him. Take a look, here he is right here. He's just going to come through the offensive man. Strong and quick.
3rd and 8 at the 22. Paulus, tight end down the middle. He's got him. He doesn't see it. Now he throws it incomplete. Tried to dump it off to Zellers, the fullback, and couldn't get it to him. And he had Oscar McBride breaking free downfield and never got a chance to find him.
Right, Keith, he didn't see him, just didn't see him.
Irish offense bogs down. Scott Sinja is out. They're going to put it down at about the 28-yard line. make it 29 and call it 39 yards to try to regain the lead. Got to hurry, and he squeezed it through. And Notre Dame goes back in front 10-9 at 4:48 to play in the third quarter. CFA college football here on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. And Beechwood Age Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. Notre Dame used 5:58 of time in keeping Florida State's offense in the barn, and took the lead on the 39-yard field goal, 10-9. High kick to Tiger McMillan, almost got it over his head. Deep in the end zone. Down at the 10-yard line. It's a pretty good play by John Bergman. Coming up next, the second half of our doubleheader as Penn State goes to Champaign, trying to lock the Big Ten championship in the Rose Bowl. USC and Arizona at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Big game for both of them. Alabama, Mississippi State. Alabama can lock up the Western Division title in the SEC. And the Baylor-Rice winner will be in the hunt as the Southwest Conference bangs along. Everything about those games coming up. Say championship, bowl games. Check your cable operator. He might have something you'd like to see too. First down, ball at the 10. Dunn and Crockett in the backfield. Give it to Dunn. Down at the line of scrimmage. This is Florida State's worst starting point. This is one of those moments in a ball game where the Irish defense is going to lay its ears back and try to jump them right here and try to establish field position. If they can make them kick out around the 5-yard line, they've done their job.
Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator. Both teams in the second half on their first possession came out with pretty nice offensive drives, although neither got a touchdown. Both of them held it for at least 10 plays.
Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dunn keeps it, breaks loose. Big run, Warwick Dunn having a huge day.
Again, they're going to fake a reverse. Little toss to Dunn. You fake it to the man coming around. That holds the linebackers just a tad and the defensive backs as well. Some good blocking at the initial point and then just the skill. This kid is outstanding, Keith. Bobby Bowden says he's got it. I don't know. Last year he says he's got it. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, he's got it. And we're seeing that today.
And again, runs into his own man behind the line of scrimmage. It winds up going down. He's got 23 carries now for 146 yards. Preston has 9 carries, 134 yards. That's a lot of yards for the two tailbacks. But no touchdowns.
Second and 9.
Offensive line of the Irish going over what the defense for Florida State may have done, trying to make some adjustments.
Second down and 9. Batted down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 9. Oliver Gibson and LaShane Sadler were in his face. Tomorrow night is $100,000 giveaway night on America's Funniest Videos, followed by new episodes of On Our Own and Lois and Clark. Then Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and Joe Pesci star in the action movie that's fun, Lethal Weapon 3, the network premiere tomorrow night on ABC. Third down conversions for the Noles, 2 out of 7 today. Irish show blitz. it into the ground, and the Florida State will punt.
What a jailbreak after. This was supposed to be a little screen pass. You saw Davey. Here's his two linebackers. Nobody's going to touch him. Shiver gets a piece of, but it's a screen both ways. You talk about in trouble as a quarterback.
Got 10 of them up on the front going after Maury. Now they peel off, but they did get some pressure on him, but he gets a good kick away. Very high hanger, looking up into the bright sun. Mosley handles it. He could very well have dropped it, but the Irish will have it after the 40-yard punt at their own 23. The Goodyear blimp, Stars and Stripes, bringing you no pictures. There's something. It's amazing how the clarity. Remember when we first started doing this, we had a terrible time with it, but the clarity is wonderful now.
How about the lenses they have on those cameras now?
The Stars and Stripes, 192-foot blimp, is out of Pompano Beach, Florida. Hi, guys. Put it on the 23-yard line, make it first down now for Notre Dame as they lead Florida State 10-9 with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the third quarter. Becton and Zellers in the backfield. Paulus changing things at the line of scrimmage. Florida State's got 7 folks up on that line. Paulus gets it away. Incomplete, almost intercepted by number 18, Sean Hamlin. Had his hands on it, but couldn't reel it in.
That's just a poor throw by the quarterback, Keith. Paulus, he was not pressured. It was a two-man route. It was supposed to be a go to the outside, and he just did not get a good spin on the ball. Neither quarterback playing well here today. I don't think either one is playing with a lot of confidence, and sometimes that affects the way you throw.
2nd and 10. Becton stepped away from penetration. But it didn't get much out of it. Here's 20.
Keith, before this game began, Dave Roberts, who is the offensive coordinator for Notre Dame, said he felt one of the keys would be their performance on first down to avoid 3rd and long situations. They've been averaging so far in this ball game 5.3 yards on every first down, so I think that's one of the small keys for the offense of Notre Dame that makes a big difference in the outcome. Keith?
Well, they're looking at 3rd and 8 right here. They come after him. They don't get him. One of his own men is in the way, and he can't get around him. And he finally goes down. He got tangled up there, and Ryan Leahy was trying to get away from him. Dusty Ziegler, and finally the Noles get him.
That's a snapshot of the season that Paulus has had. He has not had a lot of time to throw, and when he has had the time, he hasn't had the receivers getting open for him. It's been a tough year all around for offensively for Notre Dame.
Wachtel is in to punt. Be his 4th. 45, 47, and 45. James Colesley. That's a pretty good kick.
Good kick.
Colesley coming around up the sideline. Looking for a little help. He was trying to outrun that one man, Edwards, and he couldn't get by him. 47-yard punt. So once again, the Noles will start a possession. Pretty good field position. Their 35-yard line at 55 seconds to go in the third quarter.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Seminoles.
Trailing the Irish by 1, 10-9. Brock Preston comes out to start this possession at tailback. On first down, Cannell goes good. Kez McCorvey. Put the ball at the Notre Dame 45. First down.
Carvey looks like he may have been limping, and it's a nice throw by Cannell. First down passing. Both wide receivers running outs. Florida State needs to get the confidence of Cannell. As you see McCorvey limping off. He is number 2 all time in their receptions at Florida State.
One of only 2 men to get 200 yards in a game. The other, of course, being Ron Sellers. Going big, too long. Omar Ellison running down the middle of the field on a post. Had gained a half a step on Ivory Covington, but the ball was well over his head.
It's a tough miss, too, for Cannell, because they were in a blitz situation. He had man-to-man coverage with his receiver running downfield. It's just throw it in there, and it's just part of the inconsistency that has bothered Cannell this year.
Florida State now total 64 plays to 35 for Notre Dame, but the Irish lead 10-9. On second down and 10 to the sidelines. It is too high. Andre Cooper was the man in the neighborhood, but it was well over his head.
Talking with Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, he says a lot of difference this year. He says you don't have to worry about that guy back there scrambling from quarterback. Of course, he was talking about Charlie Ward. Cannell has started his 9 or 10 games. He started a couple of games in the past when Charlie was hurt, and he started all the games this year.
16 seconds remaining, third quarter, 3rd and 10.
Here they come again.
Blitzen. Beats him with it. Pass caught by Omar Ellison, and he will have a first down for the Seminoles.
Obviously, the approach that Notre Dame is pressure the quarterback and see if he can get it to the wide receivers. Here are the linebackers again. They're going to blitz. Now watch as the offensive line does a nice job, and Cannell sees it coming. He gets back, allows his receiver time to run his route. That's the way to do it.
And he's got a first down at the 28-yard line. Notre Dame. They're coming again.
Yep.
And this time Preston steps over it, goes down the middle, touchdown. Go for one. Good. 2 ticks left on the third quarter clock. And Florida State goes back into the lead 16-10.
That was another blitz. Notre Dame has blitzed about 3 or 4 times. It's Crockett, I believe, the fullback, that gets a piece of Sadler and the other linebacker. And once you get through that initial line, when the defense blitzes, when you get through that initial line, there is nobody left to make a play.
28 yards on the carry for that redshirt freshman, Rock Preston. You can see the headlines tomorrow, can't you?
Here's a look at it from behind the offense. Those are the 2 linebackers. Preston gets the ball. See, there's a huge gaping hole in there. McNeil, the offensive guard, 68, does a nice job. Actually, the fullback knocked 2 guys down.
He did.
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah. Terrific block. Mosley is 2 yards deep in the end zone. Oh, about close to the 40. Quarter is over. Back with more. The Notre Dame Florida State game after this message and a word from our ABC station. The final quarter of play, Florida State 16, Notre Dame 10. The Irish have the football, first down at their own 38-yard line with Beckman at tailback and Zellers at fullback and Paulus the quarterback. Pressure coming from the backside. The pass is away and he leads the fullback Zellers too much and it is incomplete.
Total yardage big in favor of Florida State. Notre Dame only being able to rush for 91 yards, and then the bottom about 10 minutes time of possession in favor of the Seminoles. 67 plays to only 35 for Notre Dame. That's 32 more plays for the Seminoles. Not a very good offensive production so far for the Irish.
Blitz. Pick it up. Beckman is down. Penetration's too great. Corey Fuller, cornerback, made the play. The tailbacks for Florida State as we go into this fourth quarter have been quite a story. Dunn has 146 yards. Preston has 162 yards on only 10 carries. McMillan has added 3.
That's what we mentioned earlier, that the game would be won or lost in the offensive line. The running backs are following that line. Neither quarterback really having a stellar day. That's an understatement.
3rd and 11. Blitz completed the pass. Runs into the umpire. Mosley finally gets up to the 45. Paulus is down along with one of the Seminoles, and Paulus Shaken is first to get up, but he was buried back there, and it's Boulware who is hurt.
This is a wide receiver screen. Watch as every defensive lineman for the Seminoles will come free, all of them. Now that's what you call taking care of yourself if you're a quarterback. Paulus has taken a beating this year. Bumps and bruises, and gained the respect of his players and his teammates. He's limping off after that little
go round
run in, yeah. With
the old Cowboys would call that a go round.
That play wasn't set up too poorly until he ran into the umpire.
Being dehorned.
Boulware has a sister that runs cross country for Notre Dame. So, and he had a brother that was going to Georgia Tech, so 2 weeks in a row, he's got a sibling at the opponent's university. Good player.
Wachtel is in to punt now on 4th down as the Irish are 3 yards short of the first down. And that's James Colsey looking up into the sun for Florida State to accept. Very good. I mean, that's a cold, dead shank. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line. That wasn't even a wounded goose. I would suggest to you this is a very important time of this ball game. 13:33 to play. Florida State will start its possession first down at its own 43-yard line. They're leading by 6 points. So I think at this juncture, if they have some serious ideas of putting it away, this would be a very good time to do it.
Great field position.
Yep. And again, he's got at least 8 yards on the carry. Notre Dame defense got to be getting tired.
Well, the offensive line is doing the main part of the work. McNeil is 68, Fordham 71, Shiver is the center 53, and sooner or later the back is going to pop through, and offensive line just doing a great job.
One of the Irish players down on the field. I'll tell you what, Shiver got locked on to Oliver Miller there, Gibson rather, and just rode him right out of there. He's a tough guy, Shiver, at 275, only a junior. And big Oliver Gibson ain't that bad either. All right, here's the man who was shaken up on the play. It's number 37, Travis Davis. Kes McCorvey coming back offensively now as Mr. Davis leaves. He's out of Carson, California. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Seminoles. The ball near the Notre Dame 48-yard line. Fullback. Bucket. Big old Zach. All 245 pounds of him move the chains. 1st down. Next week on ABC on Saturday. We'll start it at noon Eastern time with the old Michigan-Ohio State annual. And then at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, these games. Auburn, Alabama, Illinois, Wisconsin, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Oregon State. Check your local listings. Call your cable operator. Sit down and enjoy. Here on ABC.
308 yards for Florida State. Notre Dame came into the game only averaging 118 yards that the opponents given up to their opponents. So Florida State already 200 yards better than what Notre Dame normally gives up rushing.
LaShane Sadler, number 2 at a linebacker position, came from the outside to make that play on Dunn. No gain. 2nd down and 10. Throw, sideline, good, short of the marker. Won't be a 1st down. Andre Cooper made the catch.
The Florida State offense, Keith, lost some pretty impressive people. Some of their wide receivers, Fryer, Charlie Ward. They'd also lost Tamarick Vanover. They didn't think they were going to lose, but he left. He left school early, and I think he went to play in the Canadian Football League.
I look at a play like that, Bob, and the thing that immediately comes wandering through my old head is a hook and go on the sideline.
Yeah. Well, setting it up.
That's the 1st down to Kes McCorvey. So it's going to move the ball inside the 30 to the 28.
Excuse me, Keith. The Bowl Coalition and how they're doing today. A lot of teams playing later. Kansas State's had a great year, haven't they?
Yep. That Chad May's pretty good.
Yes, he is.
On the 1st down play, ball goes to Warwick Dunn, and he's hunted down from behind by Oliver Gibson. And Warwick is laying there on that soggy sod saying, would you remove your large body from me? You feel like an arm walker.
Holtz was saying that he's indebted to Bobby Bowden for what he did for his son Skip. You know, Skip is now the head coach at Connecticut, UConn. But Bobby Bowden gave him a job, his first assistant's job, and worked with him, and Lou is really indebted to him.
Good solid defensive effort there by the Irish as Warwick Dunn is taken down by Travis Davis. Davis, mind you, is the strong safety, and he was sitting right up there in the line of scrimmage. And number 36 just left, dragging a shoulder or an arm for the Irish. Jeremy Sample, the inside linebacker, just left the field. And it looked very tender on his left shoulder. So on 3rd and 8, the Irish go to the nickel package now, anticipating pass. Kennan Tatum checks in at that linebacker position, a sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Florida State's 4 out of 10 on 3rd down conversions today, and Cannell comes back to throw it. He goes high and wide. Ball 4.
Well, he had to throw that high and wide because they only sent out the 2 wide receivers, and they went down and broke to the out. They kept everybody else in the block. The blitzing that Bob Davie had done with Notre Dame has forced them to go to that tactic, and they just wanted maximum protection, and they just guessed wrong.
Here comes Mr. Mowry now, and this is man-sized, 44 yards. It's double XL at least. Got a lot of leg on it. Missed it. Oh, that could have been big.
He hooked it.
That would have made it 19 for Florida State. Instead, Notre Dame gets the ball and pretty good field position. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. Amstel Light. Who says nothing's perfect? PageNet, America's #1 wireless messaging company. And Diet Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for. All right, Notre Dame coming up, 9:55 to play in the ball game. Florida State leads 16-10. It's Kinder and Zellers behind Paulus. It's Kinder behind the line of scrimmage. Too slow developing. Can't do that with Florida State. They'll eat you alive.
It may seem strange to those who watch Notre Dame and know Lou Holtz and how much he loves the option. I don't think we've seen one option play here all day.
We have not.
The reason being, Paulus, his quarterback, is not a real good option. That's not to say he hasn't run some, but he's banged up, he's nicked up, and I think that's why you're not seeing it. And the speed of Florida State.
2nd and 12. Paulus's pass is caught by Zellers. Great play by Ray Zellers. Looking right back into the bright sun, concentration, and balled it in. I want to say this now while I have a moment. Well, go ahead, and I'll try to get this information in.
Zellers, the fullback, is going to sneak out. This kid is talented, Paulus. There's no doubt about it. Throws it over and inside the line, but just a little inexperienced. Notre Dame is about a year away of really being good, Keith.
1st down, ball at the 43. Zellers the fullback, nothing there. Florida State has 36 more plays in this ball game than Notre Dame, 306 more yards, 18 more first downs, yet they only lead by 6 points.
Yeah. And both linebackers are going to be involved in this play. Bush is 44 and Brooks is number 10. They avoid the blocks and get up and make the play.
Paulus gives it to Kinder. Kinder all the way to the Florida State 40-yard line and a first down. Corey Fuller made the tackle.
Fresh legs. Kinder is not played a lot today because of the healthy situation with Becton. But Keith, you're so right. Florida State has dominated this game. Florida has a chance to win it. I mean, Notre Dame, not Florida State. Florida State's in trouble.
8 minutes to play.
There's your option.
That's the first one today, and it works. Becton to the 20, 19. First down, Notre Dame.
I think the lack of the option, like I said, was just because of the admitting that Florida State has so much speed. You don't want to run east and west too often, but Holtz waited until the fourth quarter to really get the option outside. That was a good time to call it.
First down at the Florida State 19. Edwards and Becton in the backfield. Becton will lose a yard. Darrell Bush inside backer, number 44, first man to arrive.
Just a redshirt freshman. He has been very active this year. It's surprising that a redshirt freshman would start for Florida State. They play a lot of players. Mickey Andrews likes to get a lot of different players in. Has always used that philosophy.
Wallace checking off calls timeout with 4 seconds remaining on the play clock. 6:47 remaining in the game. Invite you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. Scores and highlights around the country. We're at second down 11 now for Notre Dame at the Florida State 20. Florida State leading 16-10. Edwards and Becton in the backfield. Option, Becton. Not quite the first down. Not quite. Number 11, Devin Bush, is shaken up for Florida State. But he's up walking around now. That gained about 8 yards.
Well, if you run the option or if you run a play and it does well for you, you want to get it back in the thick of things and call it again. And Holtz did that. He caught it earlier in this drive. He skipped a couple of plays and he got it right back in there. And both times the option has done well.
Edwards and Zellers in the backfield. It is third and a long 2. And timeout called by Florida State. So the defensive folks won a conference. With 6:06 to go in the ball game, it is third down and 2. The ball is sitting at just inside the 12-yard line of Florida State. Lee Becton and Ray Zellers are in the backfield for Notre Dame. Big play. Option. Becton turns upfield. Took a wallop, and he is short. He is short of that first down marker. Number 90, Derek Alexander, was the man who turned him away.
Holtz calls the plays, and he knows what is going well for him. He goes back to the option a third time. This time, Florida State gets up and stops him short of the first down.
Here comes Alexander right there. Randy Kinder is in. The Irish have no choice. They got to go. 4th and 2. Paulus to throw it. Now throws it. Touchdown! Derek Mays. You let them hang around and hang around and hang around, and they're not satisfied with the crystal. They're not satisfied with the silver. They want the family jewels. And they're trying to get them right here. As Scott Senja goes for the lead on the extra point. Hit the goal post. goodness. That's like getting kicked in the stomach for that bunch of offensive linemen.
Yeah. Here's another look at it. Both kickers have missed field goals. One missed a field goal. This missed the extra point to put them ahead. Hits the goalpost. Florida State has changed kickers this year, and so has Lou Holtz.
Oh. Well,
been that kind of year, Lou.
I know exactly what he's going to say when the game's over. He's going to say, if you can't make an extra point, you don't deserve to win.
It's been that kind of year, Keith. His kicking has not been good. His special teams, his kickers, his offensive line has been injured. He started the year without a quarterback that had ever taken a snap at Notre Dame. He gets the strength of his team is his two running backs. He loses them for 4 or 5 games. It's just been that type of year.
See the history that goes with Derek May's 9th touchdown reception, tying my old friend Jack Snow's record at Notre Dame. Rock Preston and Tiger McMillan now are the deep people for Florida State. 16-16 tie with 5:17 to play. That's a lot of time for Florida State. It's a high kick. It's not too deep. It is Tiger McMillan at the 16. Kind of late getting started, but finally gets the wheels spinning and gets it out to near the 33-yard line.
Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown. Now here it is. We've started it. Here's Paulus here. He is rolled out. That's going to buy him some time. The receiver is here. He's open, but he's going to go down and run a curl in the back of the end zone. Now watch the defensive back. He comes up to play the out, and then he goes like an out and up. And this is a nice throw. These two guys have really locked in on each other all year. Derek Mays and Ron Paulus. It's been a good combination for the Irish.
Now it's up to Danny Cannell to see whether or not he can lead Surge to respond. He's 13 out of 26 for 136 yards. He's got McCorvey wide open. He's got it. McCorvey broke away from Brian McGee, and the ball was on the money.
Well, McCorvey is on McGee, who is the free safety, because they had the little corner blitz again. This is a nice throw by Cannell. Makes a big play. He's missed a couple of long passes earlier, but he hits on the one that he needs.
McCorvey 6 catches, 97 yards. First down at the 19. Messon is in at the wideout position. Bucket, the fullback, rejuvenated as he bounds down through there and picks up about 6 yards. So suddenly the hopes and optimism of Florida State is soaring again after that big play. Davis suffering on the Irish side. Hard to handle McCorvey all day.
Yes.
He's pretty good.
Yes, he is. He's an outstanding player. Came in with 173 receptions.
Fullback again. The old-fashioned way. First and goal at the 7. If I got 245 pounds of angry bull, I'm going to let him sick him.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
Crockett doesn't get an opportunity very often in this offense. Normally, it's a pass-oriented offense. First, the ball goes to the wide receivers. Then it goes to the tailback to carry the football. And then, as an afterthought, it goes to the fullback. And, you know, they had a fullback. There's McCorvey. He came in to the game today with 173 career receptions and 16 touchdowns. But They had a pretty good fullback here last year by the name of William Floyd, who didn't get a lot of respect around here, but went in the first round of the NFL draft.
78 plays, 506 yards for Florida State so far. This time it goes to the tailback, and Warwick Dunn, who's had a bit of a breather, slams his way to the 5. It'll be second down and goal from the 5. Warwick Dunn on the day, 28 carries, 159 yards. And he doesn't have a sore shoulder. Rock Preston, 10 carries, 162
Hey, what
yards.
happened?
And they play the same position on the same team.
Amazing, isn't it?
And, you know, Florida State has had some field goal problems in the past also.
Certainly have.
I mean, you don't want to just sit there and say, we'll just kick the field goal and win this game.
It's just done again. Got loose, touchdown. Watch for number 55 on this play in white.
And watch 69, that's McNeil, the guard. McNeil gets a nice block to seal off. You got to hand it to Dunn and Preston, but that offensive line led by McNeil and Shiver has done an outstanding job.
Oliver Gibson just missed his quarry. The kick is good. And it's now Florida State 23 and Notre Dame 16. And here's John Saunders.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. We want to remind everyone at 3:30 Eastern time, the second half of your doubleheader. Some of you will see Kajana Carter try and run past Dana Howard as Penn State tries to clinch the berth in the Rose Bowl. Some will see Dan White and Rob Johnson, a couple of good quarterbacks, Arizona and USC, both in the hunt for the Rose Bowl as well. Alabama's Gene Stallings against Jackie Sherrill of Mississippi State. Alabama can clinch the SEC West. And Jeff Watson and Spencer George in the Southwest Conference. Baylor and Rice both are in contention for the Cotton Bowl. It will be a hot one at 3:30 Eastern time right now. Let's take it back to Keith.
Well, it's kind of heavy on the Irish side of the field right now as Florida State did indeed respond. And it was a huge pass play to Kes McCovey that got everything going for them. And here's the TD.
Well, you give it to the guy and the position that's been doing well for you all day. That's the tailback position. Dunn and Preston.
Gibson just missed it. But he's so quick. He is hard to reel in.
Florida State responded pretty quickly.
Yes, they did. 2 minutes and 53 seconds to play as Mosley makes the catch at the 3-yard line. And had a chance. If he comes left, he had a chance up the middle. But they take him down at about the 26-yard line. Very few flags in this ball game today. An impressive lack of them. Now with the scrimmage play, it'll be 2:45 to go in the ball game. Notre Dame has 2 timeouts remaining. Grammatically correct to say 2 times out. But we keep it in sports vernacular so Dave Burns can understand it. Randy Kinder and Ray Zellers. This is Kinder. And they jump him pretty good. That's Derek Brooks and Darrell Bush and Clifton Abraham. Numbers for Warwick Dunn.
That's only half the story, too.
He had the tough stuff. Second down and 9. Wallace throws it away. Chuck Rowe, some 4 years ago, heard about the possibility, figured out the possibility to match these guys, because the Irish were losing a game when Penn State went into the Big Ten. Lo and behold, he started hunting and searching and talking and poking and made it all come together today. And the crowd is the largest crowd ever at the Florida Citrus Bowl. 72,868. Wallace gets it up high. Mary is trying to run under it. Very good coverage on him. Number 4, Corey Fuller. Outstanding quarterback for Florida State, right in his pocket.
Well, they had a little blitz on to put some pressure. You got a jam. Ball's in the air. Now you can't jam him after the ball's in the air. That's just good coverage and a tough throw.
Ball is at just outside the 28 for Notre Dame, and it's 4th and 9. 1:59 to play, and here's the old ball game, perhaps right here. Depends on the spot. Nobody open. I mean, there was nobody available to throw the ball to. If he doesn't have it, Florida State gets it. Florida State will take over if he didn't get his first down at the 28-yard line. Didn't make it.
Well, Keith, we're into the play. Paulus has dropped back. You mentioned there's nobody open. Here's one of the receivers. Here's another receiver. Here's his third and only other receiver that he has out. And as you can see, none of them were open. It's then that he scrambled. Now he takes off running, and nobody uncovers till he crosses the line of scrimmage.
And so the Noles will take over. He gets it where he was downed, if you will. So it's not the 28, but the 36. Preston and Crockett. And they'll just grind it out. Now, Notre Dame has 2 timeouts remaining, so they can kill the clock a couple of times. We'll get a little pushing and shoving out in the middle of the field out there, but no big deal. We are coming up on 1.5 minutes to play in the ball game.
Here's the story of the game right here. The 2 running backs, the 2 tailbacks for Florida State, both over 160 yards, both having a touchdown. And you got to give a big plus to that offensive line of Hernandez, Tyre, Shiver, McNeil, and Fordham, and Laureano has been in there also.
2nd down and 10. Brock Preston on that carry. So they call it a Texaco Star Classic ball game. Each school will get $50,000 scholarships endowed, both at Florida State and Notre Dame. Each team should take away about $1 million. Nice afternoon in the sunshine.
It's like a bowl game, really, Keith.
Yep, it is.
I mean, when you get 2 of the top teams in the nation, a Notre Dame and a Florida State, to come and play. Neither one is a home game, but you get them to come. That's like a bowl game, and it's been that type of atmosphere.
Games we've documented well for you, as John was telling you a while ago, and we've told you over and over, the games that are following this afternoon are all wrapped up in blue ribbon. because every one of those games will have something to do with postseason possibilities, including the championship, which is the coveted thing. Rose Bowl involved in those first 2 games, Sugar Bowl in that 3rd game, Cotton Bowl in that 4th game. Pay-per-view will be offering you some of the games in different areas of the country, so check your cable operator. And of course, we'll have a free one for you wherever you might be in your area. Nebraska and Iowa State. Jimmy Walden's gone at Iowa State. I understand that Gary Gibbs may be gone from Oklahoma. So there are going to be some changes this year in college football. This is Rock Preston. And a couple of yards on the play. But these 2 old wizards that have been matching wits here in the Citrus Bowl this afternoon will be back again and heard from again and again and again.
Holtz says that he talks to a lot of coaches during the season and throughout the offseason, but he says there's not many that he just calls to talk to and just to chat. And Bobby Bowden is one of those that he does that with. I think these guys are really friendly, and not just in coaching terms, but just like each other's company.
Utah trying to roll along in the WAC. Boston College big over Syracuse, 31-0.
The team in yellow is the winning team.
I think Syracuse has just completely run out of people and out of gas. Their tank's empty probably by now.
It kind of died out the second half of last week's game against Miami.
Well, the little brown jug is still in doubt.
What they put in that little brown jug here, Hoss?
Hey, lad. 'Tis enough to make you tingle. Fourth down. They need 7 yards. 54 seconds to play in the ball game. And I would think they would punt here. Little pooch. Hit toward the corner. Now it kicked the other way and rolled into the end zone. Well, he needs to go practice his pooch kicking.
Yeah, the thing there was just get it off. Just get it over the line of scrimmage. Don't let him block it.
He had in mind angling it toward the right corner, but it kicked the other way. So here you go with 48 seconds. Isn't that what it says? 48 seconds. 23-16. Notre Dame will get one more shot. They don't go away. They're 80 yards away, and Florida State leads by 7. Well, you got all the experience out there. You got Beckton, you got Zellers. And here's Paulus stepping away from the pressure. Knocked out of bounds. Knocked out by Abraham.
Talk about some good on-the-job training. Ron Paulus right here is getting it. Holtz said that it wasn't his plan to come into the season without any experience in the quarterback position. That's the way it turned out. He had planned on getting Paulus some snaps and some experience last year as a true freshman, but he broke his collarbone twice and was out for the year.
He's 9 of 20, 83 yards, 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown. It's 2nd down and 8. The ball is at the 22. Pressure coming, throws it out, throws it high, had to get rid of it in a hurry because thunder was coming down the back of his neck.
Paulus is down and getting up very slowly.
Peter Boulware. Well, he took a I mean, Boulware just got all of it.
Yeah, he did. It was a screen. He was unblocked, and you know, Paulus has won the respect of these teammates, even though they're much older. He is the leader because of the beating and the battering. He just gets up, doesn't say anything, even though it's not his fault, but he just goes back to work at it.
And knock him down again. It was Derek Alexander who made that play. So Alexander in successive years has had big games defensively against Notre Dame.
You've got to tip the hat to Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator for Florida State, throwing a shutout.
Lou's trying to get him to do something. They're walking around as if this is it, and it will be it.
Lou saying, use your head, call a timeout.
He didn't have a timeout, but he never got it down on the ground. Now he throws it into the ground, and the game is over. Final score, Florida State 23, Notre Dame 16. Genuine Chevrolet, most valuable players of the game, Bobby Taylor from Notre Dame. 6 tackles today, including the touchdown. Warwick Dunn for Florida State. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund for outstanding students for their academic achievements and to help those in financial need. And so it is done at the Florida Citrus Bowl. 23-16, Florida State continues to march right along. We've got the second half of the doubleheader coming up with these games for you. And again, they're all important in their respective regions. And at halftime, we'll have these 2 coaches for you. So enjoy the rest of the afternoon.